So in today's video, I will show you how I've made a hot box for my lettuce, and we also planted radishes and carrots in there. It's more of a cold weather crop, but we wanted to get started a little bit earlier than normal. So I'm going to show you how I built this hot box. I used all reclaimed lumber, and I used a reclaimed glass door that I got from a remodeling project. So I'm going to try to kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm going along. First, I measured the width that my door is going to be, and so I used that. It was roughly 3 feet, so I used a 3-foot yardstick, which that's a yard, I guess. So just so you know, in case you didn't know that, a yard is 3 feet, by the way. So I used a yardstick, and I marked my 2x10s. I cut it, just went flush on one side, and I made it flush on the other side, and I cut it, or I marked it and then I cut it. So some of this is just trial and error. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted it to look like and what I wanted it to be, but I wasn't exactly sure how to do it. So yes, enjoy the whole process with me. It was awesome. My wife helped me with it too, so I always love it when my wife can help me. And yes, I've been in construction since, I don't know, I was probably 6 when I was handing my dad nails, and I'm 29 now, so I'll be 30 this year. So what's that, like 23 years? So I understand construction a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I measured the height of my door, and it's right around 80 inches. So I'm going to overlap these long boards on the outside. So a 2x is 1.5 inches. So I had to add 3 inches, and I went a little bit more than my door, so I made it 83.5 inches total. And I'm cutting this, and whatever's left over of my cutoff piece, I'm going to use it for my sides, or rather, I mean my ends. I will show you what length I made those here in a little bit. So the ends, I'm making those 34.5. I wanted my box to be wide enough to where my door catches it when I shut it, but you will see in the end, or I will show you somewhere in the video, it's closer to the end, that it shows that it didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to. But I will show you that, and I will show you what I did to fix it. But in the meantime, while we wait until we get there, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself. So I kind of grew up on a homestead. We did a lot of our own gardening and canning, and we did all of our own butchering. I don't remember one time that we had a butcher shop do anything for us. But you know, those skills come in handy now as I'm older. I left home. I got a job and left home when I was 16. I moved to Missouri. So I grew up in Iowa and I moved to Missouri then after that. And I lived in Missouri for a couple years, and I ended up going back to Iowa, different part of Iowa. I trained horses there for probably, it was around a year to year and a half. I worked on a ranch for a couple months training horses with them, and then I ended up going out on my own and training horses for another year with my brother, and we had a lot of fun doing that. Then after that, we got into roofing, got back into construction, and we did pretty well there. So here, let's get back to the project here. So here I took my 2x10s that I had cut at an angle, and I'm screwing the long boards that are 83.5 onto the ends of my 2x10, and then I'm going to screw another 2x6, a long 2x6 on top of that, and that gives me an angle, because I wanted to create an angle that way when the door is on there, which you'll see how that works out. But when the door is on there, that way it sheds a little bit of water. That way I don't have a bunch of rain sitting on top of my door. But yeah, I went into construction again, and I roofed in Iowa doing shingles and stuff for about 5 years. And while I was there, I had a family that I lived with, not my family, but a different family, They had another building, an outbuilding, which they called it the lodge. And I lived with them for 5 years, and they really trained me in reading the scriptures and just how to navigate life, because I was not doing a good job on my own. It was an awesome experience, and that family taught me a lot. They taught me a lot just about how to navigate life, how to do business, how to do just communication with other people, and most importantly, they taught me how to be disciplined in reading the scriptures and studying the scriptures. I'm so thankful for that experience. It was awesome. And then I lived there, like I said, I lived there for like 5 years, roughly, give or take some months. Then I ended up moving back to Missouri, and I met my wife. I was dating my wife before I moved to Missouri. But then we got married, and we currently have been married for 4.5 years. And we have a 2.5-year-old daughter, which you're just about, there she is. That's my 2.5-year-old daughter. We also have a son, and he is 7 weeks old. And then we have this, but we got it there all in one piece. So here's our old hot box. I built this last year, I believe it was, and that was reclaimed lumber as well. And like I said, I was in construction, so I had access to a lot of reclaimed materials, you know, because I'd be remodeling a project at work, and I would bring my old materials home if it was worth saving. So sometimes I'd have leftover lumber and I'd use, and in this old hot box I had some leftover wooden windows, because I had replaced some windows and I saved them, and I used those to cover my hot box. And then one time we had a windstorm, and the thing blew all the windows, or the 2 windows, away, and one of them was broken, so I had stuck it away. But we were getting ready to plant lettuce again, and I was like, hey, we'll pull those windows back out and I'll put some hinges on it. But then I was like, hey, I have this door, why don't I just build a new hot box? So earlier this spring, like a week or so ago, not that long ago, we had a flower bed out here that was on the property when we bought it, and we didn't like the location of it, so I decided to rip it out. And so a lot of this dirt came from there, so I didn't have to work too hard for that dirt either, because it was all just laying there, so I picked it up. Here we're planting some lettuce. We put 8 plants of lettuce in total. And then we also ended up planting broccoli. I don't think I show us planting the broccoli. Here we are planting radishes in one row, and my daughter wants to help with that too. So she loves to help, man. She is such a helpful little girl. And then we also planted 2 rows of carrots and watered everything in. And next we are going to install the door. We held the door up there, and I thought it was going to fit because I had everything measured out correctly, right? Probably not. So we thought we were going to get it to fit right, and it wasn't working. It wasn't fitting in there correctly. The hinges were too long, so I decided to move the door off and flip it over, and I ended up getting my grinder out. And I'm going to grind the hinge off there. That was just a little bit hot, so I had to move fast. We're going to try it again. Put the door back on there. Hey, it fits. Let's go. I'm going to put a couple screws in, and then we're going to close the thing and see if it fits right. If the thing shuts the way I want it to shut. Well, something's not quite right, so I had made my box a little bit too wide. It was probably like 1 inch too wide, and it wouldn't support my door, so it wasn't going to work right. So I cut myself another 2x6, and I put some screws in that baby, and it's going to shut right this time. This is the finished product. Open the door. It leans back against the house. Now we're just waiting for harvest. It should be a couple weeks, I think, and we should be able to harvest a little bit of lettuce, and we're pretty excited. We are so ready for summer, so ready for planting and harvesting and the whole process. It's a fun life. I really am thankful for the life that the Lord has given us. We will see you next time.